Thank you. Hello, my name is Craig Bennett, and I'm the founder and owner of TechViewsNelp, and today we are doing another Android tutorial. In this one, we're doing the 20-second Android tutorial. Now, as far as things goes, we're going to be getting into shared preferences. I'm going to get a little bit detailed into this. And this is what I feel to be the easiest save method for Android. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos, then keep an eye out towards the top. I'll have an ability for you to link to the previous video. And if you want to skip ahead because you already know about shared preferences or just want to skip ahead, then I'll have something towards the top to skip ahead, given that video is out. Keep in mind these videos come out once or twice a week if possible. So as far as that goes, the shared preferences, the thing to keep in mind with it, biggest, if the user deletes their app, what would happen is the information is gone. So say for example I'm going to use Netflix as an example. You use the username and password area. For the username, say you got to log in every few times, you can say remember me type of thing. Well, the username, what would end up happening is it will save the username, so ABC123, and then when you come back, it will remember that. Usually that will be a shared preference, and then when you delete the application, reinstall it, you'll notice that you don't have that again. And that's because it was all internal at the application. It stayed internal. This is great for security because applications should normally, depend on how the operating system has been modified, it should run in a sandbox mode, and that's very important. And depending on the allowances, the permissions that you give the app to talk to others. But with that, that's very important. So something like in medical and a few other places, it can be very useful. Now, with this, shared preferences, you're going to have to remember it's great for small things. So, for example, if you want to keep track of usernames, things of this nature, if you want to keep track of booleans and a few other things, if you want to keep track of how many times a person has gone to the application, things like this, it's a great method. So if we go into here, what you'll notice is with the application, you have the area right here to be changed. Your name is blah blah blah, and so on. So what we have here is a shared preference, and what a shared preference does is, it again is a saving method, but it also has to load. So what we're loading from is the strings, and I got into a previous video that you can actually make a entire thing for strings, which I don't know why, but I like on this one. Usually I don't. But with this, what happens is we're able to get your name is blah blah for that area. So with that, in order to get that, what we need to do is be able to do let's go to the input. We have to define the shared preference, and we're using the preference manager. And for the editor, let's go into writing to it. So we're writing then loading. So to write to it, let's go to the menu, and you notice that whenever I click this button, the following happens over here. Well, we have to tell it to edit. So as you see here, as I click that, all of these relate to this. It's pretty simple, and that means that you can name this whatever you want, but that these have to be named the exact same. So with this, what we're doing here is doing a put string, so write to a string, and particularly a given thing. then we're getting data. So what is getting data? Basically, if you're writing anything in here, we need to get it, and then we need to put it in the given strings. So finally, we need to commit. So in order to actually save, we need to commit. Now there's two methods you have. You have a clear, so let's do the editor.clear. So as you see here, we can do a clear, and what a clear does is it clears the information, but we can commit. Now, if you're going to write, you need to commit. So just keep that in mind. It's not too hard to remember that. Just add commit. And then the finish has nothing to do with shared preferences, but for those of you wondering, you click the submit, it kills that page, and it goes back to what it was. So with that, let's go into the get value, and we can go back to this if we want. And basically what happens here is on start, what happens is the preference, we're getting this stuff, and we're doing a data, so the name and the default name. So again, we're getting it from those areas. And then once we get what we need, so say for example with the phone number string, whatever, we got right here. So for example, right here, we're string name blah, we got right here. So we're setting the ID, we're setting the ID to this, whatever this equals to. Same thing with this. So basically with phone number, we set the ID to the phone number ID, which was the one of these, I believe it's this one. And then we needed to sell it what to set it by, and that's what that is. It's pretty straightforward with that. Now with that, that's pretty much about it. You can do more advanced things than just pulling up information. Like say for example, if you have the user using particular settings on the application, so say for example, even if the application saves some information by the SD card or whatever, but it doesn't everything, it doesn't use shared preferences, which is fine. Well, what happens is you can have, like say for example, the settings, and within the settings that can be shared preference, and that way it makes things a lot easier. It cuts down on the time of gathering information because things are already inside the application itself. This is not a huge problem, but it could be some third-party phones and knockoffs and stuff like that. That could be a problem, but I don't see that being too much, even with that. But so with the settings, you can actually have it where, I don't know, say for example, if I want to have the settings say have the background black or green or purple with polka dots, and what I can do is save the value and then say within the shared preference is on start on whatever is if x equals, so the preference equals this, then do the following. So the preference is holding a value, and basically the application is saying, okay, is that value matches this, then do the following, otherwise do this. So it's an if else statement at that, and then it goes down the line. So with that, you can actually use it to say, okay, you want the thing to have purple polka dots with green flaming firing dragons out of the sides. Well, you can tell it to do that. Obviously, the shared preference is not advanced enough to do all that type of stuff, but it's advanced enough to say, okay, the person, if the person says, I want that in the settings, then the shared preference says, I don't know, the ABC, and then the thing says on start, reads the thing and says, if is ABC, then do all the stuff I just mentioned. So that's a example, example, I guess, but that's one example. This is another, the actual real world example I'm giving is another. There's a few of them out there, so there's that. But keep in mind, this stuff will be on GitHub. Check out the link down below in the description. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you have a great day. And by the way, if you go on the GitHub thing, feel free to use it. It's not a problem. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day.